Okay, welcome everyone to our team call for April. Super excited to have you all here. So the theme for the call tonight, and we're going to have some fun. We're going to do a couple of games like trivia, and we're going to be just talking about, oily hacks, like uses for products that you have, but maybe didn't know how to use, or maybe you've got products and you're like, you know what, I don't really use it for these intended things. Are there other things that I can use them for instead? Make sure you bring them in because we're going to be showing you how to do that. Before we do, to give you a couple of minutes to go grab them or write down the products you want to talk about, I wanted to just do a little recap. I was just in Okinawa, which is an island in Japan, and I visited the Shell Ginger Farm. So this is Shell Ginger oil, okay? And I'm going to show you, to give you a little bit of info and insight on what this is. So Shell Ginger is this beautiful plant that grows in tropical areas. In fact, I grew up in Hawaii and we have Shell Ginger there as well. And we use them to make glaze. But what's really interesting is that in Okinawa, if you didn't already know this, Okinawa is considered a blue zone. There was a great book written about blue zones, and there are certain blue zones kind of all over the world. And Okinawa is one of them. And what makes this area blue zone mean, what it is people are just incredibly healthy. They also have a high number of centenarians, which means, these are the people who are 100 years old and older. I mean, that's a pretty remarkable age to get to. And let me just tell you, because we were in Okinawa and we were in mainland Japan, I could not believe the number of older people, like I'm talking 80 and 90 years old. They were getting around. They're on the bus, they're going to the market, they're walking around. Many of them are even still working, like in grocery stores, like huge older population that is still like very active and very vibrant. And I think this has a lot to do with if they're in the blue zone. But what does this really have to do with? A lot has to do with their diet. I mean, their diet is just amazing. Lots of fish, lots of fresh vegetables. But guess what? In Okinawa, shell ginger is a big part of their diet. So shell ginger is this beautiful plant, just sort of a beautiful green plant, and it grows this. I don't even know how to describe it. I'll show a picture a little bit later in the groups, but I posted a couple of photos in Let's Be Frank, and I'm happy to share it in some of the other groups as well. But basically, it's like these beautiful flowers that grow, these beautiful white with like sort of a pink sort of hue along the flowers. But what's really cool is the leaves themselves, they use it. They like dry it, grind it, and they put it in like tea, or they make soba noodles out of it. They actually consume the leaves. The flowers they use for decorative purposes, but the leaves is sort of like where all the magic is. And so this shell ginger oil is made from the leaves. And just, for fun, Young Living gave us this sort of, bonus oil that they made from the flowers. It's surprisingly, it's so beautiful, but it's actually not really fragrant. I was expecting it to smell like a plumeria or like a tuberose, and it's very, very mild. I could barely smell anything from the flower, but the leaves is really where it's at. And something that we learned is there are different types of shell ginger, and not all shell ginger will produce essential oils. So they were showing us two different plants that looked almost identical, but you could just tell from like the root structure, like when they were showing us sort of the roots and the branches, that they were a little bit different. And I was like, oh, so probably a lot of the shell ginger that we have in Hawaii is not the one that produces the oil, but the one in Okinawa is. So it was just very interesting to hear that. So again, Young Living has done all their research. Dr. Wu, who is a big part of the research and development team at Young Living, he was there with us and he was explaining all the different kind of uses. So hopefully shell ginger, the oil, will be made available soon. They're just getting started with sort of research, and hopefully we'll either have an oil or a supplement. Supposedly we're going to find out more at convention about it, but it's pretty amazing. If you go look up shell ginger and go look up studies that have been done on it, especially with Okinawans, you're going to see all kinds of amazing things there. Again, it's the leaves. The leaves is what it's all about. And so it was really interesting to be there and sort of learn more about it. But according to Dr. Wu, what he was saying was a big part of the reason why the population is so much older and so vibrant and so healthy. It's because of the shell ginger. So it's a big part of like longevity. So I'm like, ooh, are we going to get like another sort of longevity supplement? That would be really amazing. And then one more supplement that I wanted to talk to you about, and I'm like, please, Young Living, bring this to the States. This is called Black Ginger. Black Ginger PMF. I don't know if you can see this. So this is only available in Asia. And I was like, Black Ginger PMF. I can't read any of it. It's all in Japanese. I don't know what it says. And so we asked some of our Asian crew there with Young Living what this is for. Let me just tell you. So this is for weight loss. So with all things being the same, you can take this, right, and just sort of eat normally and you will, I know. I was like, why do we not have it here? So we're all begging for them to bring it here. I know, right? I was like, what? So this is for weight loss. Yes, I know. It sounds amazing. But yeah, it's sort of like all things considered, you can kind of like maintain your diet and then take the black ginger and, lose weight. And I was like, you guys need to have it here. You can't just keep it for the Asian folks. We need it here in the US and other markets too. So we were begging them for it. I know. I want it. I want it. Yeah, Black Ginger PMF. It's only available in Asia. And unfortunately, the one day that I was in Tokyo, the Young Living office was closed. So I couldn't go get some more because I was tempted to go get some more there too, but they were closed that day. But just wanted to share some really cool things coming out of Asia that hopefully we will soon have here in the US. Okay, does anyone have an oil or a Young Living product that they have and they're unsure how to use and just want some tips on how to do it? Feel free to comment or unmute yourself.
Hi there. My name is Lisa, and I have a question. I love getting all our freebies with Young Living, and I love all the Young Living products, and especially you and Sherry and Stacy and this whole group for the knowledge to help us get better with this to try to get our lives more on track and healthy. One of the items that I was receiving is the Vitality Drops, but they come in a grapefruit flavor. I don't like the flavor, but is there something else I can do with it besides just trade it with somebody that maybe I can mix it with some other drops and add it to my water or something? Even diffuse it, I don't care.
Lisa, that's a really great question. So it has stevia in it, so would not be good to diffuse. So it is definitely something that you want to consume. So here's some, and it is sweet. So if you added it to like, let's say iced tea that was already sweetened or lemonade that was already sweetened, it is going to make it sweeter. My suggestion would be to add oils of something that you actually do like. I don't know if that's lime or lemon, maybe even orange, to kind of like mute down that grapefruit flavor. But that would be my suggestion. Maybe even adding like a drop of peppermint to make it a little bit more minty, or spearmint. Spearmint is like not, it's still got that mintiness to it, but not quite as strong as peppermint. Sherry, do you have other ideas?
And I was just going to say, maybe just try like a little mini scoosh of the bottle instead of a full one. That's actually my husband's favorite. I'm not a fan either, but we go through 3 of those a month and 3 of the Jade Berry Lemon as well. So we're going through 6, and it's just 2 of us here in our house. It's mostly him, because I'm fine with just regular old water. But like maybe just try like a little mini scoosh at first. It might be an acquired taste for you. That's how it was when I started. And now when I do use them, I actually prefer the lavender lemonade the most. But yeah, I would just kind of like try it, and like Tracy was saying, just mix in an oil that you do like, add a drop into your water, or put it in your Ningxia Red. Did anybody else have any products or oils or anything they're wondering about?
Thank you both ladies very much.
Of course. Well, I want to share a tip in case people don't already do this. If you like to take your oils internally, or you use them in your water or in, when you're cooking, if you have not gotten dropper tops for your oil bottles, this is life-changing. You can see I have 2 different lovely pretty styles. This, I think I got at convention last year from Seeds of Time. These are from Amazon, but Seasons Essentials, if you haven't tried this yet, is life-changing for seasonal issues. I used to do lemon, lavender, peppermint in my diffuser and in a capsule. Nope. This is my new best friend. This is like lemon, lavender, peppermint on steroids. It's amazing. So if you are using it frequently, it's just so much easier to use the dropper than to sit there and try to wait for them to drip out, especially if you're making a capsule. It can be messy. You don't want to waste your valuable oils. when we were first making capsules, my husband would like, I would show my husband how to take off all the tops, and we would buy little like disposable plastic pipettes. And so we would use a pipette, because my husband is so much better than me now, friends. For years, he called me Sherry Potter, and now he's the one making his capsules for like 2 weeks, and they're in the refrigerator in a little container. And here I am every morning, like dumping them in a capsule, because I don't have that kind of time. Like he goes and does his thing. But
That's awesome.
he's amazing. But this has been like life changing if you make capsules or use them for cooking, because you don't make a mess. So just wanted to share that if you haven't gotten them. I will drop the link in there.
Thank you. I was going to ask for it.
Yeah.
Did anyone else have a question about a Young Living product or an oil? Oh, here we go, Amanda. When should you add oils to food that requires cooking? Oh, that's a really good question. I think it depends. Like if you're baking, you can do it at the beginning, like peppermint with chocolate, right? Like you can mix it right into the batter. But I will tell you, it is very, very strong. Like if I was using a peppermint extract, I might use like half a teaspoon or a teaspoon. When I'm using drops, I might add 2 drops of peppermint, maybe up to 4 or 5, but no more than that. Because it is so strong. And so the cooking does, the therapeutic benefit of the oil is not really going to be there when you're baking or cooking at high heat, right? So you're going to get more of the flavoring and, probably some of the benefits, but not like at full force if you were doing it just like right out of the bottle. Certainly, if you wanted to sort of keep like the beneficial therapeutic properties, a great way to use oils would be to make salad dressings. Salad dressings, something that you're not going to be cooking, but you still want to get the benefits. So any of the herb oils are going to be fabulous for that, or citrus oils, that's going to be great too. But certainly I've also used oils for like marinades. Marinades can be a really great way to use it. I will tell you, whenever I actually need cilantro, I never seem to actually have cilantro. So I'm like, ooh, I have the cilantro oil, right? Or, ooh, I have cumin, because I use a ton of cumin and I always run out of it. And whether it's like I'm making salsa or I make this like Mexican chicken that my kids love, I'm like, oh gosh, I forgot. And so I'm like, oh, great, I have the oils. So I honestly think that the oils, the cooking oils are great to have on hand for that. Sherry, did you want to add something?
Sorry, and I'm trying to look for the link at the same time. Be careful though with your lime, your cilantro. Don't drop it in. It will overpower your recipe. So the other trick, okay, this is not a food one, so just pretend. That large air vent in the middle? Get a toothpick, put it in there, and swirl it in your guacamole, especially your guacamole. Oh, you try to get 1 drop of lime and 5 come out, and then you've just ruined your amazing bowl of guacamole. Do a toothpick, taste it. If you need a little more, get a fresh toothpick and do it again. Trust me, we found out the hard way when we were trying to add lime for the first time. I was so excited, and we had to throw it away. So use the toothpick trick when you are cooking with them, unless you are very experienced. But those first few times, use your toothpicks. It'll help.
Yeah, that's really good. And can I just like tell you, like grab the oil. I mean, honestly, we get a lot of the oils for free in the monthly promos, but maybe Sherry can comment too, like favorites to have on hand in case you don't have the actual item. So lime is one. I never have lime when I really need it. Cilantro, cumin, also like oregano. I use oregano, the herb, a lot, but sometimes it's nice just to have because I always run out of it as well. Thyme, of course, is another good one, but those are sort of like the 5 that I would say that I use pretty regularly as far as the oils, because I either don't have the actual like fruit or spice on hand. But Sherry, what are your faves to have on hand?
Pretty much the same as you. In fact, my cilantro is out. When I was cooking last week, I went for the bottle and it was gone, and I was like, when did we finish that? So I just added it to my order. Cilantro, basil, especially like in the winter. Like in the summer, it's easy for me to have fresh basil, but I like to have the basil oil around. Definitely lime. I've used the celery as well, in certain recipes, because some call for like celery salt, and I don't like salt. So the celery is really nice with the toothpick. Lemon a lot. I use the lemon essential oil a lot in my cooking. Yeah, I think that's probably my basics. Lime, lemon, cilantro, parsley sometimes as well. Basil.
This is a fantastic secret for replacing fresh herbs and things for the oils.
Mhm.
My next question comes to bring. I got to have those mojitos and things with my fresh mint. What oil would I use for that?
Spearmint or peppermint. I mean, the spearmint will be a little milder, so it would probably have a better flavor. The peppermint's going to really add a to it. So definitely some lime and spearmint. You're muted, Tracy, just so you know, if you were trying to.
Thank you.
Yeah, but that's what
Yeah,
I
I was going to
do.
agree with you. Lime. Lime oil would be great for a mojito.
Yeah.
Lime and yeah, probably spearmint. I feel like the mint that they use in a mojito is definitely a spearmint. It's very
Correct.
mild.
Right. And you better call me over, Lisa, when you're making those.
Me too. I want one too.
Well, then you get to come to town because she lives 5 minutes from me, Tracy. So yes,
Oh, how
you come on
fun. Yeah.
over and
Yes. I love it. I love it. Well, if you're making like your deep dish Chicago pizza sauce, right? Like you're gonna want to have like your oregano, your thyme, your basil. Basil's a good one. Sherry mentioned that one, and that's often an herb that I use that I don't have fresh on hand. And like I'm like looking through the cupboard for like, you know, the dried spice, and I'm like, no, but I have my basil oil. Yeah. Here is something cool. And another reason why you want to have your herb oils on hand is not just for cooking, but the second you feel like you're coming under the weather, or if you've got like respiratory stuff coming on, like my little guy, before we went to Japan, had like some respiratory stuff and he was like coughing. Your herb oils, you may not know this, but like your basil, oregano, thyme, they're phenomenal if you're feeling under the weather. They help to like, you can, you know, make a chest rub out of them. And again, like 1 or 2 drops with some olive oil and like rub it on your chest, or V6 would be great for that. Chest and like your back, but it's good for respiratory issues, also good for the immune system. So not just for cooking, but your herb oils are fantastic for respiratory and immune support too.
And Robin, that is a great idea. In the chat, Robin said, and hi Robin, by the way, miss you. Basil for her bruschetta to mix it with your olive oil first. Because it is so very strong, and lemon in your lemon blueberry bread or muffin sounds amazing. You need to share the recipe with us for that, please, ma'am. Yes, oregano, especially when you're under the weather in a capsule, is amazing. If you don't have Inner Defense handy, oregano is great. Oregano and thieves in a capsule is basically what Inner Defense is on steroids.
Oh, and one more tip, whether it's kiddos or whether it's you, you can also put those herb oils for immune support on the bottom of your feet. We call it pizza feet, right? Because that's kind of what you end up smelling like. But you do smell like pizza, but that's great. And if you didn't already know this, but the raindrop technique, which is a fantastic technique developed by late founder Gary Young of Young Living. He created that raindrop technique. And it includes some other oils too, but you'll often see us talking about making like this pizza roller that you put on the bottom of your feet or on your spine. So this is why, you know, on your back or on your spine, especially like the bottom part of your spine is a great place to be using those immune support oils. Yeah. And they have like a heat to them. So just FYI. So like muscle and like shoulder things, right? Like we just got back from traveling and it's like, oh, the shoulders were so tight from like putting bags up and carrying bags around. But the heat from those herb oils is really great for muscles.
Speaking
Oh,
of
this is good.
muscles, oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah. No, go for it.
Speaking of muscles, I wanted to talk about my hack and I don't have it, so I'll go and get it after we chat. My favorite oil is Idaho Balsam or Idaho Grand Fir. And if you've ever heard Danette Goodyear speak, she talks about when she traveled with Gary Young many, many, many years ago, and he broke his ankle, and he was just slathering himself with Idaho balsam fir. And when you look in the reference guides about Idaho balsam fir, it doesn't just smell amazing. It's got a lot of amazing properties. but it says it has the ability to heal respiratory conditions, muscular and rheumatic pain. So what we do is I have a roller top right on top of my Idaho Grand Fir, and I have RA, so like I'm great a lot of the times, and all of a sudden joints will just randomly hurt for no reason. I roll Idaho Grand Fir directly on the joint twice a day, and within a few days, it feels good as new again. My husband actually keeps that on his nightstand. I think he just likes the smell of it though. A lot of times he just kind of rolls it on his chest when he goes to bed because it's super grounding, but it's amazing for joint pain, for arthritis. And it's one of those things that they don't talk about. You know, we have all these pain relieving creams and like the arthritis and the Coolazules, but try Idaho Grand Fir. If you have that and you haven't known what to do with it, put a roller top on it, put it on your skin. It's going to feel amazing. It is. I love what you said there, Tracy. She said it's like a natural cortisone shot for pain. It is something about it is just great on the joints. I had a rotator cuff injury for a while and was going to therapy and the chiropractor. And to be honest, the Idaho Grand Fir is kind of what did the trick better than all the other things. And I'm going to go grab it quick so I can show everyone with the roller top.
Yeah, and you know, in addition to the balsam fir, basically the pine oils, right? Your conifer trees, right? Like those pine trees are going to have that kind of similar effect where it's like a cortisone shot. Like my husband, like Sherry has RA and has like used to have very severe back issues. And he would actually, before Young Living, would get cortisone shots. And then we discovered later that the Idaho Grand Fir or balsam fir, just like Sherry is showing right there, is great for that. But a lot of the pine oils are good for this. In addition, if you've ever had scoliosis, I'm not even joking. My husband almost didn't go surfing. If he doesn't go surfing, there's something really, really wrong. It's like, you know, that's like his favorite thing to do in the world. And he was like, I can't go. My scoliosis, I'm sorry, my sciatica is killing me. And I'm like, just wait. And I made him a roller, and I can't remember exactly what I put it in there. I basically just used the book. If you don't have the book, right, the desk reference or the pocket reference, I just looked up sciatica and I was like, okay, I just put like 2 of each of the different oils in there. And one of them was the Idaho Grand Fir. And boom, within like 30 minutes, he was like, I think I can go now. So now ever since then, he's been like a true believer. But your pine oils, just think back, muscles, pain, your pine oils are going to be good for that one.
And if you don't have the book that you see Tracy and I holding up, so Life Science Publishing is no longer in business. However, Seeds of Time is a Young Living company, and all of the material in these books was created and written by Gary Young. So Young Living has all of that back in house. And this is the new version. It still says Life Science, but I think the new one might say Seeds of Time. It's a big old honking book. Like, it's not something you're carrying around, but it's full color, but all of the same information. They just made it like bigger and prettier, but all of the same information is in there. If you do not have one of these older essential oil desk or pocket references, because these, like, I have one over there that's so beat up and filled with Post-it notes. I reference this all the time because people on my team will be like, hey, what do I do for this? And I'll be like, well, let me look. And I just send them a picture of the book. So just so easy to use. So try to get your hands on one of these if you don't already, because everything you need is in.
And can I get the ISBN number from you, please? I will find it.
For the big one?
Yes.
Yeah, I can try to find the link for that on Seeds of Time and drop it in.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I was just going to add in here, the other option is like, you can find them on Amazon, like older versions of the desk reference, but sometimes they can be a little pricey. So I do think Sherry's suggestion of like the Seeds of Time would probably be a better option, but that's always something to look at too.
Thank you, ladies.
Okay.
I guess Sherry and I will have to go over that on the patio having our mojitos.
There we go.
Also,
exactly. So kind of piggybacking on Sherry's tip of like, you know, her Idaho Grand Fir, something that I wanted to share with you and something you may not realize is, you know, our blends have so many different uses. Sometimes we kind of like narrowly focus on blends and kind of what they do. And I'll give you an example. So DiGize, for instance, right? We know and love DiGize, great for digestive support. Anytime you've got an upset stomach, you ate greasy pizza. So I will tell you, I just came back from like an 11-day trip to Japan, and I carry a bunch of oils, but the one oil that I carry in my purse, because I am a minimalist, is I always have DiGize. And it's not just because it's for digestive issues. Sherry was with me, right? Like for the bug bite thing. So I got a bee sting, and I was like, I had nothing else with me. And I'm like, well, I'm just going to put DiGize on this, right? Because here's the thing. I want you to hear this, okay? It's got tarragon, ginger, peppermint, juniper, fennel, lemongrass, anise, and patchouli. So it's got a lot of different oils in there. If one of those oils is going to work for whatever issue you've kind of got going on, so even though we sort of more narrowly focus on the digestive component, it can do a lot of other things, like for bee stings. Like, I kid you not, it took the pain immediately away. I mean, it had gotten swollen, and then the swelling had gone down, the pain had gone away. I mean, it was like, this thing is magic. But the other thing is, again, when you're traveling, you might not have access to like the cleanest water or cleanest ingredients. You definitely want to have your DiGize. But when you look at the blends themselves and look at the individual oils, you could look up to see what are like the benefits, right, of like tarragon and ginger and peppermint. If I was really in a pinch and I needed peppermint because I wanted to, for instance, maybe my muscles were hurting, I would put on DiGize. I mean, I might not smell the best. I would smell like black licorice, but in the end, right, the oils, the individual components that are in it could still help. So my recommendation is, for the blends, do a little bit of research to see the individual components and what it can do for you. I'm going to give you another example. Valor, which we all know and love. And we've always heard that Valor is great for grounding, right? Emotional support, which it is. It's all good for all of those things. Or even like after you go to a chiropractor, right? Like, it's great to put Valor on your spine to kind of like keep that adjustment in place. But let me just tell you like the individual components of Valor. It's got black spruce, rosewood, blue tansy, frankincense. So a couple of off-label uses you would never know. Okay, it's got frankincense in it and blue tansy. Did you know those are two oils that are great for your skin? So like for wrinkles, right? So in a pinch, instead of me carrying all these individual oils with me, I was like, okay, on this trip, I'm bringing my DiGize, my Valor, and I brought a couple of other blends because they have multiple uses. Not only is it great for grounding, but I could just mix this with like a little bit of carrier oil or with like my eye cream and just put it under my eyes, and it's great for my skin. Another great use for your Valor is it's got your black spruce. So piggybacking on Sherry's recommendation of Idaho Grand Fir, did you know black spruce also has a cortisone-like effect? So great for pain, also great for the immune system. It's an anti-inflammatory. So do you see how blends can really have so many different uses? So in a pinch, if you're traveling, definitely take that. But this is, just to kind of encourage you, do the research on the individual components in the blends, because you might discover some uses that you never even thought of before.
And also, if you haven't already heard it many times before about Valor, this is also next to my husband's side of the bed with a roller, snoring. Sometimes it will wake me up in the middle of the night, his snoring. I literally will wake up. I just grab his foot and I start rolling the oil. They say the big toe, but when he's snoring bad, I put it right down the middle of his foot as well. And he'll wake up and he'll look at me and just laugh and go back to sleep. But it works. It really helps, because sometimes I'm just like, you need to go to another room, sir. So that's another fun trick with the Valor. Let's see. Robin said she rolls it across her chest every AM just for balance and to start my day. And she started noticing a big difference in her skin hydration and wrinkles. Yeah, that crepey skin. You know what? It's the frankincense. I'm going to tell you. And that blue tansy. I'm obsessed with Sacred Frank. Sacred Frank is just one of those, like regular frankincense. I'm not all that about the smell, but Sacred Frank, there is something about that smell. It's different. If you haven't smelled it, you need to experience it. For me, it's very intoxicating, and I am all about the trees. So it's not like it's in that same type of family smell, but I use that neat. I know it's expensive, but my skin is worth it. I put it on my forehead, under my eyes, and all of this every night and morning. And then I follow with my moisturizers. Sacred Frank, I love. And I will say, I mean, I don't talk about how old I am very often, but I'm 55. I'll be 56 in June. And I had I'm a teacher, and yesterday a student was waiting to be picked up, and his grandmother came up, and she was wearing like a cute little birthday crown and we were like, oh, happy birthday. She's like, thank you. I'm 60 today. And after they left, I looked at the teachers that were out there with me, and I was like, do I look close to that? Because I thought she was closer to 80. And they were like, no, but you don't look 55. I'm like, okay, I know I don't know what numbers look like anymore, because the older we get, your impression of age changes. But I was like, okay, go home and use more Sacred Fragrances. Go home and use more of the like, seriously, I was a little nervous there yesterday. But we have so many amazing products for your skin that you probably already have one in your arsenal that you aren't aware you have. I know we have the new wrinkle cream, which I love, but there are so many options. You just learned that if you have Valor sitting at home, you can use that. It's going to be amazing for your skin. Yep, under eyes, especially with that blue tansy. So just had to put that 2 cents in there about wrinkles and age.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I've had on this Japan trip, I had several conversations with people, and we were talking about children. I'm like, oh, I've got one in college. They're like, how do you have a child in college? They were like, were you like really young? I was like, well, I was 28, so I wasn't that young, but they're like, what? So you're like 47, 48? And I was like, yeah. And they're like, no, you don't look it. I'm like, no, really, I am. And I'm like, it's Young Living. So I understand exactly, Sherry.
Yeah.
Okay, so I want to do something fun.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a giveaway. So you have to answer this trivia question. So whoever gets it right is going to get this, okay? So I'm going to do a roller of white light. Do you know what white light has? This one's a very hard oil to get. It's not always available around the holidays. It'll be like some years it is, and most of the time it's not. I feel like since I've been with Young Living for 10 years, it's only been available like maybe 3 of the 10 years. So it is kind of a rare oil and harder to get. But this is a blend of white fir, white cedar, white spruce, white pine. It's great for helping to just have harmony, grounding, elevating. So it really is a great emotional support oil. So I'm going to do a roller of white light. You have to answer this trivia question. Type it into the comment box, okay? This is a blend that has multiple purposes, and I want you to answer what your guess is for this blend. It is great to clean and disinfect cuts and scrapes. It can also be used for night terrors if you diffuse it. How interesting is that? And it's great for odors. So can you guess which blend this is? Okay, we got our first one, Thieves. That's the first guess. Who else? Type it in the comment box. Okay, Robin says Purification. Lori says Purification. Who else? Anyone else want to put in their bid? I'll give you 10 more seconds. So this blend is great for cuts and scrapes, night terrors, and for odors. Okay, so Mary said Purification. Amanda said Purification. So the winner is Purification. Isn't that crazy? I just learned today that Purification can be used for night terrors. It's actually not in the book. I'm actually in a chat with some other diamonds, and a bunch of them were like, this is what I use all the time. And I'm like, what? I need to write this in my big book and write it down. But if you diffuse Purification, it is phenomenal for night terrors. So whether it's you, maybe you know someone with PTSD, like from the military, or maybe it's just kiddos. Like I had a child who would always sort of wake up with these night terrors. So that would be one to diffuse. But just in case, Purification is another blend I always have with me, especially when I travel, because it is so good for disinfecting odors. But yeah, it also is great for bee stings, hornet stings, wasps, spiders. Oh my gosh, so many spiders in Okinawa because it's tropical. I was like, oh, I hate them. But also good for cuts and scrapes too. It's also disinfecting. So Purification has citronella, rosemary, lemongrass, tea tree, lavender, myrtle. So again, when you dissect kind of like the individual components in purification, you still get the benefit, right? Like for instance, tea tree is really great for pimples. And so we have a lot of members on our team who like to use purification for pimples too. And that's actually not a use that I had even recommended yet. But yeah, it's great for that. It also has like, your citronella and your lemongrass, which is really going to help to keep like pests away. So you could diffuse and it'll help to keep mosquitoes away. You can make your own sort of citronella candles with purification and it'll have that great use. So for the ladies who said yes, purification, you're going to get a roller of white light. Congratulations.
White light is amazing,
Lori,
friends, if you've never smelled it. Oh, all the trees. Like, I love all the trees.
mm-hmm,
Yeah.
mm-hmm. And Lori just said she diffused purification to stop skunks from coming to the window.
Yeah.
Yes, that's amazing. I love it.
It actually wasn't coming from the window. We had an air conditioner, a window air conditioner, and it was coming through. And my diffuser's right there. So I said, well, let's try it. And we were able to go back to sleep. There wasn't any problems.
Amazing. Yeah, I live in an area where it was a mild winter here in the Chicago Atlanta area. So we're going to probably have a bad skunk spring. And I have 2 dogs and they like to get under my deck. So I'm not looking forward to that. And we're also going to have a huge cicada. It's like the 17-year and the 100-year cicadas emerging in our area. So I just feel like my yard's going to be a disaster zone soon.
And
Maybe I'm going to start putting my diffuser out on my deck and just running purification out there. Keep them away.
And all the other bugs as well. The hard winters get rid of the bugs, but the light winters, too many more bugs and mosquitoes.
That's right. It's a bad tick year here already, they're saying too.
My daughter had one. She went down for the eclipse and she got it.
Really? Oh, that's frightening with the worrying about Lyme disease. Amanda, I love that you use purification on your wool dryer balls. I have always kind of done purification, or I would do Citrus Fresh. I started going through all my stash because I have a few oils over there. And I realized I had a lot of tangerine, and that wasn't something I was using a lot. If you have extra tangerine, it's amazing on the wool dryer balls, friends. Like, it's not as heavy as orange. Like, sometimes orange alone almost gives me a headache. It's too much for me. I can use a drop of orange in a diffuser with something, but like Citrus Fresh is almost too much for me because it's so heavy orange. But tangerine, and your Ningxia red, Mary, that's a great idea. I've been obsessed with tangerine for the past like month, using it in all the things. So that's awesome.
Yeah, I was just going to say your citrus oils, like your tangerine, your orange, lemon, lime, any of them for cleaning. I'm sure you already know this, but I just cannot tell you enough, especially for dust. Like for dust or like stains, like in my sink, right? I get all these stains. But then I also have a lot of open shelving. And if I just do like thieves cleaner with like, a cloth alone, I have to like really rub it in there and it takes a lot. But if I do a few drops of like tangerine or orange, it's like boom, one swipe, it's all gone. It smells amazing. So like your citrus oils really are a phenomenal degreaser, both externally when you're cleaning, but internally too. So like Trevor and I are like, we ate really well on this trip. We actually did eat very, very well, but we're like, okay, time to detox a little bit. Let's get back on the plan with like our water and our oils, right? Especially our citrus oils to kind of like get clean on the inside too. So yes, it's also great for degreasing inside.
It is so hard when you travel. You try to do the best you can, but you're just not on your routine. You're eating out all the time, which is so hard on your body, even when you eat good. So yes, thank goodness for all of our oils and supplements to get us back on track so we can enjoy our trips and then not be miserable forever. Oh, fun. Robin said, purification with baking soda sprinkled in stinky sneakers and over the carpet. Yes, I do like a carpet fresh. Our bedrooms are carpeted and our lower level, our family room basement is carpeted. So I always do, and I always mix up the oil I use. I'm very partial to lemon, Luscious Lemon for cleaning. That's what I add into my thieves cleaner. So I'm a big fan of Luscious Lemon in my thieves cleaner and in my wipes. So I'm about that with my baking soda, but there's no wrong way. You put in the oil that you love, and it's so easy to do. In fact, does everyone here know how to make thieves wipes? Should we talk about that? I'll go get supplies, Tracy, while you talk. I'll be right back.
I want to learn that and I want to do that now. I mean, tonight, but I mean, like this weekend.
Yeah, there's a few different sort of like ways you can do it, but in a nutshell, you'll get like a paper towel roll and you like cut it in half. And you sort of find like a jar, like a glass jar or a plastic jar that will fit those paper towels in. And then you sort of put it in, maybe, start off the little towel like this, just so you have something, from the roll. But you can add in water, Thieves household cleaner, and then you add some oils in there, kind of shake it up, let it sit. But that's kind of like your Thieves wipes right there. Like it's so easy. So that's sort of how you make your DIY version. But it's really easy. It's a great replacement if you, love to use it in that way. Oh, Sherry's got her supplies right there.
So I actually bring this, I'm at a farmer's market in the summers. So many people have like, I want the thieves because I want to do this. These are my classroom. This is actually the one in my kitchen. I needed to make them tonight anyway, so it's perfect timing. This is the 6-quart OXO container, the OXO brand, the pop tops. You can get them on Amazon, Target, and you can see it fits the entire roll of paper towels because I am not cutting things. I've seen some with coffee filters. I just want to use a roll of paper towels. The hardest part of this whole process is getting the cardboard tube out of the roll of paper towels. Now, I'm not like a brand girl except for this. I really only recommend using Bounty. The other brands of paper towels, they kind of just break down really easy and they don't work as well. So these are the Bounty Select a Size so that you're not wasting a lot of paper. So what I need to do, I kind of use my nail. I start trying to get this cardboard tube out. I usually grab a large wooden spoon, kind of go down the side. This is truly the hardest part of the process. You've never made them. Oh, and you go to the other side. This is honestly the hardest part. Once you finagle this thing out of there, it's going to just be all paper towel, kind of like from, we all did it, the days when we used the Clorox wipes in the bin, right? It's going to just come right out of the middle. Still working. I'm still pulling it out. Again, this is like the torture. There we go. And now the paper towels, you'll be pulling them from the middle. Put them into your container. Look at that, how easy, right? And then you just need your household cleaner. I use 2 capfuls, 3.5 to 4 cups of water. If you have a smaller roll of paper towels, 3 cups of water. If it's the jumbo one that you had to push really hard to get in there, go closer to 4. And again, you'll experiment with it after you've made your first batch. If it's too wet, decrease it the next time. So 2 capfuls of the Thieves household cleaner, 3.5 cups of distilled water. I don't like using tap water. Grab distilled, or if you have like an RO dispenser, something like that. And then I choose to do Luscious Lemon in mine. You don't have to add any, but I love the smell of Luscious Lemon. I add anywhere from 10 to 20 drops. I'm just kind of like, okay, yeah. And then pour it right over your roll of paper towels slowly, focusing on just the top and going down the middle. Put the cap on, and 6 hours later, you have wipes ready to go. They are amazing, easy to use. This is all that's in my classroom. My students love them. I teach 3rd grade. They love to come over and grab one, and they're like this every day. They pick it up to their face because they know it smells amazing. I don't have to send them to the bathroom then to go wash their hands because they're filled with chemicals if I had those Clorox or Lysol wipes in my classroom. And when these run out, I actually recycle the plastic Thieves bottles for my classroom. I get a spray top, and I just bring this with extra thieves cleaner diluted for the classroom. But if you haven't made wipes and you're someone that because I use these everywhere, they're great on, your kitchen counter, your bathroom counters, cleaning up quick messes on the stove. I have dogs. So sometimes, there's like stuff around on the floor. So I use them for all the things. So since we were talking, I had to share that. And now I'm ready to go finish mine when we're done with the call. But any other questions or wonderings or DIY wonderings?
Can I add one more thing for Valor? So is anybody here a teeth grinder, or is it just me, or know somebody who's a teeth grinder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. So I'm a teeth grinder, and Valor just along the jawline can help with that. My teeth grinding has actually gotten so bad that the last time I was at the dentist, they're like, we're noticing that your teeth are like the mineral, like they can tell like not at cavity level yet, but because there's so much intense grinding that they're like, we need to make sure you're remineralizing your teeth. So do you know, we actually have a toothpaste for that helps to remineralize your teeth. It's the Whitening Thieves toothpaste. And the key ingredient that helps to remineralize your teeth is the hydroxyapatite, which helps. It has sort of like the same sort of ingredients that are in the natural minerals that are in your teeth. So I was like, oh, I actually have not been good about using my Whitening Thieves toothpaste. I normally use my Aroma Bright, which I also love, but because I've been grinding so much, I need to do this, and I need to take more of my mineral essence because I've just been grinding. So if that's something that you deal with or know somebody who does, Valor along the jawline, and make sure to take the Whitening Thieves because it helps to remineralize.
Tracy, I definitely want to ask you a question on that one. Sorry. I grind real bad from stress, so I have to wear a mouth guard, and I wear that at night. And I know the stress from my job. I'm also starting to wear it at work because I'm doing that. But I have many teeth that are implants and crowns because of different accidents and things. And I've asked my dentist and endodontist's office if I can whiten my teeth, and they tell me no, because so many of them are crowns that were made to match the color of my teeth back then, that I would look like a piano keyboard. So is there a version I can use that maybe is not whitening or something to that effect?
Here's what I will say is that it's called a whitening toothpaste, but it's not going to be like those crest strips where it'll lighten like 10 shades or 20 shades, because I also have a crown from grinding actually. So I completely understand. Actually, it's an implant now. So I completely understand. So you're going to notice some mild whitening, but it's not going to be like 20 shades lighter. You could get lighter if you combine orange oil with the Thieves Whitening toothpaste, and that will help to like accelerate. But if you're not looking to do that, I would just use this. So I'm in the same boat as you. I drink a lot of hot tea. If you drink coffee or other like soft drinks, like could, just sort of mildly stain your teeth. Again, that's exactly what Thieves Whitening toothpaste is for. It's definitely not like a crest whitening. It's more of a natural whitener. And so I think it'll be great for your purposes, but really, so it helps to whiten, but that hydroxyapatite, I feel like I'm saying it wrong, but it's really for remineralizing your teeth, adding those minerals back in to strengthen and make those teeth stronger. So even my front teeth, there's actually, you can see evidence of like grinding too. So I also wear a mouth guard. We're both in the same boat. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that makes me happy.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
Lisa, I think when you ask a dentist about whitening, they're thinking of you coming into their office and doing
Right.
like the whole light and the bleaching
Zoom.
system on
Yeah.
your teeth. But the toothpaste, and it's amazing for your overall dental health. So, but any of the Thieves toothpaste are great. We actually use all of them. So it's whatever we're in the mood for or that we grab that day. Like we have 3 different ones in the basket. We have the Ultra, the Aroma Bright's probably our least favorite, and the whitening.
That's right.
And the Plus, actually, I think we have all four. But I think that my husband doesn't like the Aroma Bright, which is the first one we bought, and he wasn't a fan. But we use all of them. So I don't think you would have an issue with any of them.
Yeah, interestingly though, this is a little bit off topic, but maybe it'll help somebody here. There are some different, I go to a biological dentist, and teeth grinding can be, the root of it can be several different things. Stress is definitely one. Parasites, which could be another one. So another reason maybe to add DiGize to your, everyday routine, because it can help with that. We also have something called Paragize, which is a supplement that can help with that. I normally don't take Paragize. It's very strong and I have a very sensitive stomach. But when we went to Ecuador, and like, you can't even like rinse your water with the water coming out of the faucet. Like, it's like travel, it's a third world country. So I was like, okay, Paragize, here we go. We're going to just roll the dice on this one. But parasites could be one. So that could be another root cause. Another one is actually sleep. If you're not getting full sleep, and I actually think this is my issue, is I get sleep, but I don't know if it's great sleep. If so, you might want to do a sleep study at some point. That's probably what I'm going to do, because I think I'm a mouth breather, and I think that's why I'm not getting a good night's sleep. So just a few different root causes, but might be something to talk to your dentist about. But teeth grinding isn't always, it could be stress, but it could be a number of different factors.
Okay, I'm sorry, you said lack of sleep, and that is a big one for me. So what was the one for that, DiGize or Paragize? Or was it the DiGize for lack of sleep, or what?
So DiGize and Paragize is going to be great if you suspect that it's like parasites, which could be, I mean, even if you haven't gone to a third world country, it could be something you ate. Maybe it's sushi. It could be anything, really. But for sleep, you might want to talk to your doctor or dentist about doing a sleep study, to see, you might be getting sleep, but you might not be getting full REM sleep, which I think is my issue personally. So you can find out to see if maybe your health plan might cover like a sleep study. Some dentists even do it. Even my dentist even offers a sleep study, if it's related to like TMJ, which is what I have. I have TMJ. So if you have something related to that, you could ask them about it.
Yeah, I've been told I should have it, but I got too many issues. That's on the back burner. Thank you.
I hear you. I hear you. We're a family of a lot of issues too, so I get it. Amanda has a really good question here for suggestions for using kits such as oils of the Bible. So we have done some classes. I know Sherry's group, she's done classes on oils of the Bible. I've done them as well. And so that would be a really great place to start if you're looking to use that set, or like the Reconnect kit or the Feelings kit. We already have great information in our groups that you could just do a search, like look for the little magnifying glass icon in either Let's Be Frank or Sherry's group, and you'll be able to find a lot of that information. We also have a team YouTube channel. Let me go get it in just a second. I'll go find it and post the link, but we've done previous calls on the different kits, including the Oils of the Bible kit. And then one more resource I want to throw out there to you is Erin Rogers has a great booklet on oils of the Bible. And so that is definitely one that I would recommend as well. And she is oilsupply.store.com. So, if you're more of like a reader type, that might be a great reference for you. Great suggestion though. And let me go find, thank you, Sherry.
Yeah.
And then let me find our YouTube channel as well. Give me one quick second.
And wow, I can't believe it's already been almost an hour. So if there are any last questions before we wrap this up. I always love chatting different ways to use oils and how we all use them. It's always fun.
I need to learn more, especially with the anti-inflammatory. Yes.
Oh, so that's a whole 3-hour call all by itself. Anti-inflammatory.
That's called You Come Back to My Patio Again. and we will get those mint plants and the oils going.
Yeah.
And
so
then show me how to get it.
Is, everyone's got their oil that if they were alone on a desert island, you got one oil. What is it going to be? I mean, now I have a lot, but Copaiba is the one I would not travel anywhere without. For me, this is very anti-inflammatory. It kind of helps reduce the inflammation in your body. I take a full capsule of this every day when I'm traveling, just with different elevations from being in an airplane. All of those things I just think impact all of us. So Copaiba, I will take a full capsule of this oil, sometimes twice a day when I am traveling, because my body, especially with my autoimmune, like that's the first thing that happens, when you travel, your body's under stress. And for me, just like everything gets achy. So Copaiba is amazing for that. Truly is.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. And yeah, look up the YouTube channel. Tracy has put so many amazing videos up there. So definitely look at, so this is the Gather and Dwell, or the Let's Be Frank channel, correct? Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's Gather and Dwell. So it's our entire team. We have both educational calls. We also have business calls. So if you've ever wanted to learn a bit more about the business, how to get started, how to get paid, we've got lots of videos on that. In addition to like Wheels of the Bible, specific kits. We even have like you're asking Lisa about anti-inflammatory and pain. We've done calls on that. And so you can definitely watch previous calls as well.
Yes, I definitely would like to research that, please. That link would be perfect.
Yep. So can you see them all in the chat? So, you can download the chat, because if you want to click on the chat at the very top by the 3 dots, you can save the chat and it will download it for you, because we are getting ready to end the call. And once the call goes away, if you don't have the chat, you'll miss out on your links if you haven't already clicked on them.
I don't have the 3 dots because I'm doing it on my phone.
Okay, you know what? I downloaded it, so I will send it to you.
Thank you. God bless you.
You're welcome. All right. Anything else, Tracy?
I think that's it. Thanks everybody for being here. Hope you guys enjoyed the call. Would love to hear from you guys. You want to have like at least a monthly team call like this where we'll focus on some kind of, different theme and then have a fun game. We would love to do this just to like see your faces and reconnect. Yes.
Yes.
All right.
Love
well,
it.
thank you, everybody.
Yes,
Have a
I
good
do.
rest of your evening. Tracy, I'm sure you're
Thank
still
you.
trying to catch up on sleep from coming back. So get back on real time now.
Right? I know
California time.
exactly. Thanks,
All right.
everybody.
Yes.
So great to see your faces. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Sherry.
Thank you,
Okay.
ladies. Yes.
Have a great
most
night, everybody.
helpful.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.